Epic Facts presents
Amazing Top Epic Facts about Planet Earth. Planet Earth and the cue ball. We all know the Earth is big, there's no denying it, but when it really comes down to it, we have a hard time coming to grips with its actual dimensions. So, in order to make things more relatable, let's take a look at mountains. Those of us who have been fortunate enough to see or even climb Mount Everest can attest to the fact that it's incredibly huge and incredibly humbling. But most people don't even need to see any of the tallest mountains in the world to know that mountains are big. The amazing story about oxygen. It's no real mystery that Earth hasn't always looked like it does today. In fact, our planet is in constant change even at the current moment, and for the better part of its existence, the conditions on the surface have almost always been different than they are now. So, with this in mind, let's talk about oxygen and how it got here. Oxygen only became predominant in the atmosphere roughly 2.3 billion years ago, during an incident called the Great Oxygenation Event. Before this time, oxygen levels were marginal at best, making up just around 0.02% of all the gases in the air. The Earth has a heartbeat. The Earth pulses with a special kind of resonant wave. The Schumann resonance has long been dubbed the Earth's heartbeat, and it has only been spotted from below. Recently, though, satellites have found signs of this electromagnetic heartbeat leaking up into space. The origins of life. For all the credit we can give our men and women of science when it comes to all the discoveries they've made over the years, we still have to take into account the fact that we know surprisingly little when it comes to life and how it came into being in the first place. Up until fairly recently, we believed we knew with a relatively high degree of certainty when life first appeared on Earth, and we had our presumptions on how it happened. But it seems that this theory has now changed. According to a recent study, we can now move the appearance of life back by another 300 million years, bringing it quite close to the moment when the planet actually formed some 4.5 billion years ago. Two planets become one. Ever thought about how the moon was formed? Probably because it's visible up in the sky almost every other night. People have grown accustomed to seeing it and don't give it a second thought. But the moon's history, and especially its birth, are amazing and terrifying, to say the least. Back in the early days of the solar system, and soon after our planet began to take shape, fate would place young Earth on a direct collision course with another planet we now call Theia. Now, even though it's hard to know for certain if this actually happened, there are strong indications that it did. According to the calculations, this sister planet of ours was roughly the size of Mars, or slightly smaller. And because of the still unpredictable and chaotic nature of the solar system at the time, it was flung in the direction of Earth,